My dad left me when I was 3 years old. My mom had 6 children under the age of 13. My dad had an affair, divorced my mom to marry the woman he'd been having the affair with. Two years later, he divorced that woman and remarried my mom again and stayed for 9 months and divorced my mom again and went back and remarried that same lady. And so for me, some of the way that I dealt with that, and even my family dealt with that, was we pretended that we were okay without my dad. In fact, we would even tell ourselves that we were in some ways better off that he wasn't in our life. But that wasn't true at all. I learned that you're going to make it work. I learned that you're going to overcome. I learned that you don't tell people about what's going on inside you. I learned that the way to succeed is just to be good at everything that you do. So I blast into life and become your typical overachiever, coming out of a family that, my mom raised 6 kids on $6,000 a year. We're going to an inner city high school. I come out of there straight A's, never got a B until college. Somehow I end up at an Ivy League university. I graduate 4 years later from Yale University. I'm blowing into life, always staying ahead of everything, competing at a high level athletically, academically, just always staying ahead, knowing that if I can be successful, that somehow life's going to work. And you know what? Life did work on the outside, but I was dying on the inside. I still wasn't telling the truth about what was happening in me. I was just performing and making everybody around me okay. Making my wife okay, making my kids okay, making my friends okay. But the truth was this: none of them were okay. None of them were okay. Because none of them had me. Nobody had me. They had my work, they had my performance, they had my provision, they had my gifts, they had my leadership. None of them had me. None of them had my heart. And by the way, there's no way they could have me because I didn't have me, because I didn't know where I was. I was lonely for myself. I was lonely for God. I was lonely for a dad I never had. I was lonely for friends I was around but didn't know how to connect to. That I would do everything I was doing, everything I could to make sure everyone had what they needed. But I wasn't giving them the one thing that I could give and that God gave me to give and that they wanted from me, which was my heart. So all this stuff was going on inside me. All this whole story was happening. I couldn't even put words to most of it. Not just the drivenness, not just the performance, but then even when I started leaking out sideways and some of the acting out and some of the inappropriate things that were starting to happen and some of the things that I was doing, I was terrified to tell anybody about what was going on inside here, because I knew that if I told you who I really was, you would leave me. In fact, where I was good was I would tell you more about me than most would tell, and that kept you from wanting more. And so in some ways, I would even use my transparency to keep you from ever getting to the core of me. I thank God there were a couple men that weren't overwhelmed by the mess that I was. And they became the first place that I began to start to tell the truth. I mean, the rigorous, honest truth about what was going on inside me, about the things I was afraid of, about how lonely I was, about how sad I was. And those guys sat with me a lot. I don't sit here today as a man who has his act together, or who's somehow overcome it, or who's somehow gotten to this place where he's gotten around the corner. I am a man in process. I'm a man on a journey, and it's been a messy journey. It's not buttoned up, it's not tidy, it's not linear, it's not clean. It's been a mess, and it's still a mess. But I want to tell you this, it's alive. It's alive. And I don't feel like I'm surviving anymore. I feel like I'm living. I'm living. I'm living with me in here, knowing where I'm at, where I've been, what my story has been, my mom, my dad, my family, all the things I love, all the things I wish weren't true. That's my life. I bring all that into my today with you, with where I am, with how I relate to you, with things that trigger me, with feelings that burst up inside me that I don't know where they come from, but now I kind of do. Not that I figure it out, but like I know I've been there before, that's familiar. And I bring all that into my today, which actually is, quite frankly, it's most of my hope for tomorrow, is that I've seen that God has been with me in the darkness of it. He's with me today in the mess of it, which is my hope that He'll be with me in the future of it.